and today we will be discussing about a very important topic regarding how to break the awkwardness in a conversation. In most of the instances, Piyush, you might have also observed among your learners that they are always hesitant to start the conversation. They want to talk, but they don't know how to start the conversation, how to make it seem less awkward. Not even with learners. Most of the times, a fluent speaker might also face this kind of problem, isn't it? What questions I should ask to keep the conversation going? How can I make the conversation far more positive and great? Isn't it? So today we will be discussing about that. Piyush, would you like to share some tips from your side and as well as some, icebreakers also, which will help our fellow learners to communicate with their people and also build a rapport? Any tip you want to give?
Yeah, very right, Drishika. As you have said, the icebreakers are really necessary when you have to start some conversation when you are really not good at initial stages and when you are just starting a conversation. So icebreakers could be the I think it would be very useful for the learners to start with it. Like you can ask some simple sort of topics, or you can talk upon it to overcome your hesitation. The first I could have in my mind is you can go for the thing that what's the most important or interesting thing that you have read or watched recently. So this is very important icebreakers you have to keep in mind, because it not only open you with the other person, it also shows that you are intending or you are having an interest in the conversation. Like if you are asking to someone that what is the most important thing that he or she has watched recently, you can share your mutual thoughts upon them. Okay, so based upon this thing you can go with the flow of conversation, like you can maintain a flow of conversation while asking these type of icebreakers. And one more icebreaker that I would like to mention over here is you can ask that what's the fun fact about yourself that most people don't know. Okay, so it is a very strong icebreaker. If you are I would say, if you are having a conversation, sometimes what happened, not only talking with the same gender, but people usually find very difficult talking with the other gender, means opposite gender as well. So when you are having a conversation with the opposite gender, so make sure to overcome your hesitation, you can ask this simple icebreaker, that what's the fun fact about yourself that most people don't know. Okay, so it open ups you in front of the other people. And yes, if you are asking these type of icebreaker, it will surely help you out to gain confidence over the conversation. You both are interested in telling each other that what's the most fun fact about her or him that you are going to convey right now. So these type of icebreaker I would like to mention over here. And if you would talk about, according to me, in the initial stages of learning, I should also recommend the learners to sincerely follow it. Because what happens is, when you have a conversation in front of someone, so sometimes what happens, learner usually said that they are stuck with the vocabulary or they can't find the right word. So instead of finding the right word, start a conversation with the ease of flow that you can convey accordingly, that you can convey in your own thoughts. Like if you are asking these type of question, then you can maintain the flow. At least you are not required to think of the word that is quite necessarily in the conversation over that period of time. You know that how you have to ask the question and how you are going to react on this particular thing. Okay, so make sure to follow these tips, and yes, it will surely help you out. I wanted to know, Drishika, that what are your suggestion or what you wanted to tell to the learners about the icebreakers.
Absolutely. I totally agree with each and every point you have mentioned today in this video. I hope it will be helpful for everyone out there, right? One thing that you have said, that most of the times there are some people, they do not feel comfortable with person of any gender while they are speaking to, right? It's not particularly a woman or man, right?
Right.
Or a male or female. It's like a kind of hesitation we have, like regarding how we can start a conversation with a stranger. Okay, with a friend, it's completely all right because we can get to know each other. We know them for such a long time. We have been acquainted with them. for such a long period of time, but how with a stranger and how will they react? And there are some boundaries also. We cannot just ask anything. We need to think a lot. We need to also maintain that boundary so that the other person is also feeling comfortable, isn't it? So I totally agree with you, Piyush. Actually, we can start with some very simple games. Actually, some many games are there, like 10 things that I don't know about. This is one game, right? So the other person just has to share 10 things that other people around him do not know about, right? Or which he have kept hidden for such a long time for some reason, but he can really open up now because this will be the perfect situation. So like this, we can exchange some qualities about ourselves. We can also talk about some things which we have, but others have not noticed. So this will make the conversation light-hearted. It will not make the conversation mechanical. It will be very interesting to listen to because it's something new, isn't it? So we can also start with some very general questions in order to make the beginning of the conversation very great. That is how you have been, right? How was your day, or what are your hobbies? In your holidays, what do you prefer to do most of the times, right? Okay, one question that is very common. If you were the Prime Minister of India, how will you spend your entire day? This is something which is very common. And I think everyone would love to answer this question because we all love to be creative, right? They may not feel comfortable in the very first instance to speak in English, but in their mother tongue, they already have this answer. I'm sure about it. Everyone might have thought about this question, right? How to answer it. We can also ask this kind of questions. Like if there is a person who loves reading books, so we can ask if you could live in a fictional world, what kind of world that would be and why? If you could add some more holidays in the academic calendar or in the calendar, what kind of holidays you would add and why will we celebrate that particular holiday? Right? So this kind of questions we can ask to each other because that will make the conversation light-hearted, as I told, less mechanical. Because there is a big difference, Piyush, between interaction and just speaking. Because interaction is between multiple people, between two people, where one will ask the question, other will answer. And other will again ask another question, and the other person has to answer. Right? So this is what interaction or communication is. So we need to keep this criteria in our minds. It's very important, isn't it? Other than that, yeah, as I told, some very simple games are there, right? We can also conduct some kind of events where we can just share our experiences that this happened, or some creativity also. Like if you could change something about you, if I ask you this question, if I change, like if you could change something about you, Piyush, what would that be? Of course, I think you already have the answer, right? So this
Yeah,
kind of question, yeah, you
yeah,
want to
as
add
you have
something?
said. Yeah, if I could change, like, if I was the learner, if I'm answering this question, that so that the learner could get the idea that how to answer these type of questions. So, if I could change anything in me, I would definitely be overcoming. Like, I have one very big thing that I can't say no. I really wanted to improve it, and I'm improving it right now. So there is always an answer to a particular question. Make sure that you identify this your problem, that what you are going through, and accordingly you can react. Like Drishika asked me today, if I could change something about myself, what would be that? And you have to answer in that way, like this is the question, this is the most important question asked in the interview also, and it's asked in some different tone. What is the tone? That like, if I could change anything, or what's your weakness? Like this type of question is also
Right,
asked,
right,
that what's your weakness, like what is your weak point. So how you would answer it? You have to answer it in this manner, that yeah, I'm in the initial, as I have answered, I couldn't say no really, but I'm trying to improving it over the time, like I could improve it over the time being. So that's what my answer would be included, like this way. Okay, so you have to start your answer by giving the particular answer of the problem, and then you have to initiate that yeah, you are improving it right now, and you would be improved it till the time being. Okay, so that is my answer according to the question.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. That's a very great answer because we can try to focus more on ourselves when we are asked this kind of question. Like, what would you like to change about yourself? right? Sometimes we are like, no, I don't want to change anything about myself. I feel that whatever I have, it is quite great. I'm okay with that. So in that way also you can answer. However, when it comes to interview related purpose, you can add some small things also. Like I am an overthinker. So in some situations, this becomes problematic for me. So I would love to change that about me. Or second, I take things very seriously sometimes, right? So I would love to change that thing little bit. I would love to amend that, right? So that is the thing. We can always ask this kind of questions to each other. There are many questions, numerable questions are there. And if some people they take the help of YouTube also, of Google also, they will find so many questions, right? So it feels that we will never run out of some questions. We will never run out of conversations. The thing is that we should just know what is the best way to start and what is the best way to end. Right?
Right.
That is very important, isn't it? The thing is that we should just keep going. That is the thing. Nothing can stop the conversation if we know the right tips. And I think that was the message regarding today's video, giving the best points so that a fellow learner can always start the conversation without any hesitation. And one thing that I would like to tell them is that as we are tutors, so it might happen with us also sometimes that we might run out of questions. Like how many questions we can ask to a person, right? Maximum we can ask about 12 to 13 questions. After that, again, we will run out of it. So in that case, we can again change the topic. No problem. We don't have to keep on using icebreakers. Again, we can start with a serious conversation also. Right? One more question I would like to add. What do you think about today's weather? Or how is the weather over there? Right? So this
Right.
kind of questions also we can ask. Very gentle, isn't it? So this were some of the tips that we would like to give today to our learners. Do you want to add anything, Piyush, before we wind up?
Yeah, the same thing that you have mentioned are quite crucial to understand. And one more thing I wanted to add, like if we are, as you have said, as we are tutors, so how many questions we can ask? That's the right thing. Like in the initial stages when the learner first joins us, so he or she is also a stranger to us. So how we ask the questions to them according to us, like we ask questions like using icebreakers only. We ask how are you, how was your day, so we also follow the same thing. And yeah, it
Exactly.
is great once you understand the person, like once you are getting all the details about it, you can have your general conversation over a particular time. But in the initial stages, I would refer to you that please use icebreakers, as it opens the other person as well, and it gives you also the confidence to start building a if you are having, if you are not comfortable in the initial stages, so try using the icebreakers. It would give you an edge over to your conversation. So make sure you like follow all of us tips and the icebreaker which was quite mentioned today. And keeping in mind, I think this is the last sentence I have to go, and yeah, we can wind up now.
Absolutely, absolutely, Piyush. Thank you so much. And apart from that, actually, one more thing I wanted to tell that you already said that we start our sessions with icebreakers only. So that's the reason why most of the times what happens when we start discussing about the topic immediately, it makes the conversation awkward little bit, and it might happen that we might not have enough information about the topic. Like, what will we say all of a sudden? So we prefer to start our sessions with this kind of icebreakers or general conversation most of the times. This makes the learner also comfortable, isn't it? So I think now we can totally wind up the particular discussion. Thank you so much, Piyush, for joining today's discussion session. And we will be meeting again with our fellow learners with another conversation then, right?
Thank you so much, Drishika, for having me today over here. And yes, I wanted to like only say in the last thing that please follow all the tips. Please follow all the videos that were given to you. It was like for you all only, and make sure to engage yourself in these activities so you can go over the like you can maintain a flow over the conversation.